Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a major geopolitical twist that has sent shockwaves across the international stage. Iran's $500 million drone deal, once seen as a powerful boost to its influence and a game-changing supply line for Russia, has backfired dramatically after a series of bold and devastating Ukrainian counterattacks. What was supposed to be a show of strength has now turned into a costly embarrassment, raising serious questions about the future of drone warfare, international alliances, and the risks of getting involved in someone else's war. In this video, we'll uncover how this deal came to be, why both Iran and Russia believed it would give them a strategic advantage, and how Ukraine managed to completely flip the script with precision strikes, intelligence breakthroughs, and cutting-edge tactics that no one saw coming. It all started when Russia's invasion of Ukraine began to lose momentum, and Moscow found itself running low on advanced missiles, surveillance tools, and strike capabilities. Desperate for new firepower, Russia turned to Iran, a country that had spent years developing cheap yet deadly drones for use in the Middle East. Iran quickly stepped in with a massive deal reportedly worth over $500 million, supplying Russia with Shahed 131 and Shahed 136 kamikaze drones, as well as training, maintenance, and even plans for local drone manufacturing inside Russia. For Iran, this wasn't just a business deal. It was an opportunity to prove its military technology on a global battlefield and gain political leverage. For Russia, it was a lifeline. At first, it worked. These drones rained down on Ukrainian cities, damaging infrastructure and putting pressure on air defenses. But Ukraine didn't just sit back and take it. Instead, Ukrainian engineers, soldiers, and intelligence experts began studying the drones carefully, capturing unexploded units, breaking them apart, and analyzing the internal components. They quickly discovered weaknesses in the drone's guidance systems, fuel storage, and communication setups. Ukrainian officials then shared this intelligence with NATO partners, leading to the rapid development of countermeasures such as advanced jamming technology, mobile air defense teams, and AI-supported detection systems. Soon, the drones that once terrorized cities were being shot down in large numbers, and the success rate of Russian drone strikes dropped dramatically. What was meant to overwhelm Ukraine instead became an opportunity for them to upgrade and unify their air defense network. Then came the turning point. Ukraine began launching daring precision strikes deep behind enemy lines, targeting drone storage facilities, command centers, and even factories believed to be producing or assembling Iranian drones on Russian territory. In one of the most shocking operations, Ukrainian drones hit a major facility in Tatarstan, over 1,000 kilometers from Ukrainian-controlled areas. This showed the world that nowhere was safe, and Russia's assumption of secure production was shattered. These strikes not only destroyed expensive equipment but also delayed drone deliveries and forced Russia to relocate production deeper into its territory. Every relocation increased costs and time, reducing the effectiveness of the entire deal. Suddenly, the $500 million investment began to look like a liability rather than an asset. What made things worse was the impact on Iran's reputation. When Iran entered this deal, it wanted to show its drones were powerful, reliable, and battle-proven. But after Ukraine adapted and countered them so effectively, the global perception shifted. Countries that were considering buying Iranian drones began questioning whether they were worth the money. Even worse, Western nations started tracking the supply chain, exposing the foreign-made components hidden inside the drones. This opened the door for new sanctions targeting Iranian manufacturers, distributors, and even shipping networks. Iran not only lost face but also risked economic fallout at a time when its economy was already struggling. Ukraine's counterattack didn't stop at the battlefield. They also launched a powerful information campaign showing footage of destroyed drones, captured parts, and successful interceptions. These videos went viral, weakening Russia's psychological warfare and boosting morale across Ukraine. The message was clear. These drones are not unbeatable, and with the right strategy, they can be neutralized. This shifted international opinion and encouraged Western allies to send more advanced systems like Patriot and Iris-T, further strengthening Ukraine's defenses. Meanwhile, Russia kept burning through hundreds of drones, many of which were shot down before even reaching their targets. The economic math was simple. Ukraine was destroying cheap drones with even cheaper methods. while Russia kept paying Iran millions to replace them. Another consequence of the deal was the growing friction between Iran and the international community. The United States and European Union accused Iran of fueling the war, leading to diplomatic pressure and threats of further sanctions. Even regional partners began distancing themselves as they didn't want to be linked to a failing strategy. Iran tried to downplay its involvement, but leaked documents and satellite images made denial nearly impossible. Reports also emerged that Iran sent advisors to help Russia operate the drones, making Tehran even more directly involved in the conflict. This raised fears that Iran could face military retaliation in the future, either from Ukraine or its allies. While all of this was happening, Ukraine took drone warfare to a new level. They developed their own long-range drones capable of hitting targets deep inside Russia, including oil refineries, air bases, and logistics hubs. These strikes caused billions of dollars in damage and disrupted fuel supplies to the Russian military. Ironically, Ukraine ended up using drones more effectively than the country that originally introduced them to this war. And unlike Iran's drones, Ukraine built many of theirs domestically using local parts, making them cheaper and harder to stop. The hunter had officially become the hunted. The biggest blow of all came when evidence showed that some of Iran's drone technology was failing under real combat conditions. Malfunctions increased, navigation errors caused drones to miss their targets, and even Russian troops complained about reliability. Some drones didn't detonate or crashed shortly after launch. Russia tried to fix these issues, but without full access to original manufacturing data, repairs were slow and incomplete. Morale among Russian units using these drones declined, and commanders began demanding alternatives. The once celebrated Iranian drone program was now being questioned by the very army that invested $500 million into it. In the end, the deal that was designed to strengthen alliances actually exposed vulnerabilities. Iran thought it could use this war to become a dominant drone exporter. Instead, it revealed its designs, lost strategic secrecy, and triggered global backlash. Russia believed drones would give it a cheap and effective way to crush Ukraine's resistance. Instead, Ukraine turned those drones into study material, used the information to build better defenses, and then launched devastating counterattacks that crippled the drone supply chain. This entire situation shows how quickly technology and strategy can evolve on the modern battlefield. A weapon that seems unstoppable today can become obsolete tomorrow if the enemy adapts faster. It's a warning to every nation that relying on one tactic or one supplier is a dangerous gamble. It also proves that war is no longer just about firepower. It's about intelligence, innovation, and agility. Ukraine's ability to turn a weakness into a strength has impressed military analysts around the world and raised serious questions about the future of unmanned warfare. As we move forward, the consequences of this backfired drone deal are still unfolding. Will Iran scale back its involvement or double down? Will Russia find a new supplier or try to build fully independent systems? And most importantly, will Ukraine's success in counter-drone warfare reshape how future conflicts are fought? One thing is certain. What once looked like a $500 million victory has turned into a costly strategic disaster. Thanks for watching. And if you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to stay tuned for more deep dives into the biggest military and geopolitical events shaping our world today.